So in this presentation, you will learn how to write down the noble gas electronic configurations, also known as abbreviated electronic configurations. In the last slide, we wrote down the electronic configuration of barium. And so instead of writing barium as this full electronic configuration, we can also write down barium electronic configuration as xenon 6s2. So here, when you look at the electronic configuration, the electrons that are present in the outermost shell are known as valence electrons. And these valence electrons are the electrons that are basically used in any type of chemistry. If the element has to lose electrons or gain electrons or share electrons, the chemistry basically takes place here. So we just want to know how many valence electrons in the outermost shell are present. So then, and these all electrons here, up till here, these are known as core electrons. So when we write down the abbreviated electronic configuration, we write it down in terms of noble gas, but then we have to make sure we still have the abbreviated electronic configuration is still showing the number of electrons present in the outermost shell. So what we do in that case, so let's look at hydrogen will still be 1s1, helium will still be 1s2, but when you're writing the electronic configuration of lithium, then instead of writing 1s2, 2s1, we are going to write down helium 2s1. So this is lithium is here. So you pick the noble gas that's present before and closer to lithium, which is helium. And then now you have to come from here to here. Lithium is in the second row, S block, and the first one, 2s1. Let's say we want to write down the electronic configuration of fluorine. I'm still going to pick helium because it's present before fluorine. I cannot pick neon because neon is after fluorine. So helium. Now I have to come from here to here. And how will I come? I'm here. So I can come like this. So helium, then second row, 2s2. And then now we are entering P. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2p5. So let's look at, for example, calcium. So what's the noble gas present before calcium? Argon. So we will start with argon. So now we are here and we have to come here. So after argon we have these two. So fourth row, S block, and the second one, 4s2. Let's look at for example, manganese, Mn. So what noble gas? Argon. Now we are in the fourth row, 4s2. And remember, when you enter the D block, you put one less row number. So it will be 3D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3D5. So when we enter the D block, we put one less row number. Similarly, when you enter the F block, you put two less row numbers. And I will take one example in the next slide. Now looking at the periodic table, you should be able to write down the name of the element if the electronic configuration is given to you. For example, the question is, which element has this configuration? So you just look at the outermost, 3p4. And what do you do? 3 means you are in the third row. P means these are your P block. and fourth means 1, 2, 3, 4 sulfur. 5s1 means fifth row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth row S block and first one, so it is rubidium. Then here 5p3 again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the fifth row these are the p block and the third one 1, 2, 3, so it is going to be SB antimony. The last two, I want you to try this by using the periodic table that I have posted it in the announcement, because that's the periodic table we are using it, you're using in your book, and we want to follow that. You will try it and then later on I will post the answers on that. Going back to these three configurations, chromium, copper and silver. So let's write down the electronic configuration for chromium. So where is chromium? It's here. Its atomic number is, so here is chromium. So if I have to write down its electronic configuration, and I'm going to write down the abbreviated one, which noble gas is present before chromium? It's argon. So you write down noble gas in the square bracket, argon, and I am here and I have to come here. So this is the way to go to chromium. So first these two, 1, 2, 3, 4. We are in the fourth row, 4s2, 3d4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next is copper. Copper is here. So same argon, 4s2, but now it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3d9. Silver is here. If this is 3d9, that means this will be 4d9. So argon, because we are one row down, it will become 5s2, 4d9. It's right below here. Now the rule is, now these are some exceptions. If you have d4 or d9 cases, like look in the outermost, 3d4, 3d9, 4d9. If you have 4 or 9 electrons in the d sublevel, then one electron jumps from S to D because half filled means D5, or fully filled means D10. Remember, D can have maximum 10 electrons. Half filled and fully filled D subshells are very stable. That means here one electron is jumping from here to here, so it will become 4s1 and 3d4 will become 3d5. So now the chromium electronic configuration will be argon, 4s1, 3d10. So what will be this? One electron is jumping from here to here. So argon, 4s1, 3d10. Here 5s1, 4d10. But these exceptions are only when you have 4 or 9 electrons in the D sublevel. So let's do these three examples, nitrogen, oxygen and nickel. And the question is, fill in these orbital diagrams using Pauli exclusion and Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity principles. So what is Pauli's exclusion principle? Remember, in an orbital, you can put maximum 2 electrons, and when you're putting those 2 electrons, they must have opposite spins. So if one is pointing upwards, then the second one should be pointing downwards. That's what Pauli's exclusion principle is. So for example, nitrogen, if I write down the full electronic configuration of nitrogen, nitrogen atomic number is 7, so it has 7 electrons, 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. S subshell made up of only one orbital, and in each orbital you can put 2 electrons. So these are my 2 electrons in 1s, then 2s are here, and 2p3. So remember, p subshell is made up of 3 orbitals. Now and each orbital can have 2 electrons. So here comes Hund's rule, that when you are putting, you have to put 3 electrons in this 2p, then first you're going to put 1 electron in each orbital, and then only you can start pairing up. So in this case we have only 3, so 1, 2, 3. In 2p3, when this, you cannot do it like this, put 2 electrons first and then 1 electron. So you have to put 1 electron in each orbital and then start pairing up. Let's take oxygen. Oxygen is 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So here opposite spins, opposite spins. Now 2p4. How I'm going to put these 4 electrons? First I am going to put 1 electron in each orbital, and then I will start pairing up. I can start pairing up anywhere. I can do it here, here, or here. I can have 1, 2, 3. I can start pairing up here, or I can 1, 2, 3. I can start pairing up here. But you cannot start pairing up unless you are done filling 1 electron in each orbital. Nickel atomic number is 28. Its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d8. So here is my 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3s2, 3p6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 4s2, 3d8. Same rule. Hund's rule. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.